Hiya, hello. Awesome to be here together with you again on the weekend of the launch of this Unstoppable Success podcast. So much has been going on, you guys, and I'm really excited to be here and share with you some of the learnings that I'm having along the way of this adventure, and also some celebrations as well, because there's a lot of good stuff going on. I'm really thrilled because we've started to see the impact of this podcast going out there, and the first couple of reviews have just started to pop up on Apple and on iTunes. So I've been able to read those, and it's been really beautiful. I know a lot of you have been emailing me, DMing me, and I'm really grateful for your support. I'm going to be sharing a few of my learnings. First of all, I do want to share with you some celebrations. So because of you guys going and listening and reviewing and enjoying the podcast and leaving your feedback on there, we have actually been able to move up the charts, and we've broken into the top 200 in America and also number 6 in the UK. So that is amazing news. So thank you for supporting this message. One thing I've really loved is receiving all of the stories and all of the like the messages and emails and DMs from you guys, where you're literally telling me like how you've used the podcast or what you've taken away from it. That's been really amazing. And then also sharing when you've experienced like our work in the past, like whether you've done one of our courses or you've read the book, now it's your chance. I've just loved connecting with you guys and hearing about how positive psychology and coaching is creating amazing things for you in your lives and your business. Hi Leash, it's amazing to see you. Hey Jimmy, hey Helen. It's just been really fab. And I want to share with you like my 3 learnings. So this is very different in terms of a process of like going into something that's totally new and like finding your feet within it. It's not like anything really that I've done in my business in the past. So we've done a lot of launches and things, but they usually follow a particular system that we've tried and tested over time, and we know what we're doing, and the team's all like up on every like part of it. This time we're kind of been going in. We've had expert guidance from Anna and her team, but in terms of us leaning into it, we've really been going into something that's been a new adventure. And especially with the podcast, like iTunes giving us the big surprise of going live super early last week. Well, yeah, this week instead of next week. We've kind of had to just like run with it and go with the flow. So I wanted just to share with you like 3 things that I've learned so far. But before we do that, I just want to remind you that we are doing this amazing prize giveaway where we're giving away an iPad. We are giving away a Blue Yeti microphone, which is the one that you see everyone using for podcasts. We are giving away a Apple home speaker. We're also giving away a pair of the Bose noise cancelling headphones, and all of that is the main prize, as well as loads of Amazon vouchers. And for everyone that enters the giveaway, you are going to also get an Unstoppable Success bundle as well. So I'm going to post the link into the comments for you so you can see it. I would love for you to share. Hey Tessa, hey Petra, awesome to see you there. I would absolutely love for you to share this with somebody who can be helped from the podcast. So a lot of people are messaging, they're like, Nick, like I knew you did something good, but I didn't really know what it is you did. And now I realize. So it's given people a lot of clarity and a lot of practical steps, and people will remember you when you're the person that shares something valuable with them. So if you know someone that can benefit directly, I would love for you to share that with that one person. And if you have people in your community, I know Helen, you shared with your community, your masterminders. I know a lot of you have shared on your Instagram stories and things like that. So I would be super grateful for you to share, as well as entering the giveaway. We can help so many people with this podcast. And this is like what I've been working towards and working for the past 11 years. Like I've got big goals, big impact goals. I love to help as many people as powerfully as possible. And sometimes like not everybody wants to do an online course. Not everybody wants to come to an event, especially with all of the changes in the world. Not everybody wants to be in a mastermind. But things like podcasts and books are really, really easy tools that people can pick up and they can dip into at any time. Like you're literally like cooking in the kitchen tonight in the UK, or you are out driving your car or out walking here in America, and you can just put it on and have it on in the background, and it's like helping you just shift your thinking and shift the way that you feel, so that you start to feel better more of the time. Who wouldn't want that? So much opportunity, and I know I've been helped so much through podcasts as well. So what you're going to learn in the podcast, we have got topics that cover everything from how to hit your 10K months, which is the very first episode. I'm teaching you how you can use positive psychology in your life and business so that you can feel better and make more money too. I'm teaching you, I'm sharing the story of how I went from getting an £8,500 loan from Sir Richard Branson in 2013 in my hometown of Newcastle. I literally went to Virgin in Regent Centre, for those of you who are from Newcastle, and I got granted a loan from Sir Richard Branson, and I was actually able to go to dinner with him a couple of years ago on his private island of Necker and tell him the story about how I had taken that £8,500 and transformed it into, back at that time, $2 million in my business. So he really loved that story. And I'm telling you about how I did that in the podcast. I'm also sharing with you topics like exactly how you can do a 6-figure launch. I'm sharing with you how you can launch group coaching programs. I'm sharing with you how you can sell on DMs. So what I've done with the podcast is I asked, Chrissy, you're listening to it when driving. I love it. Love it. I have listened to your questions. So I went and asked you guys, I was like, what do you want to know? Like, how can I help you? What questions have you got about positive psychology? What questions have you got about social media, online business, sales? Tell me how I can help you. And then I've created the episodes based on those questions so that I can answer you. And this is a really good lesson for those of you that are already running businesses. Sometimes you spend so much time guessing about what your community want and need. It's really so much easier to just go and ask them. And when you get into the rhythm of communicating and asking questions to your community, you're going to get so much rich information, and you can start to create better products and better programs and better podcasts and better books based on that data, rather than just basing it on your opinion or your thoughts or feelings. So a little hack for you there as well. What else am I going to be sharing in there? So how to sell on DMs. So that's one of the questions I get asked all of the time. What do I say on DMs to convert people from a normal conversation to being a client or to buying from me? There's going to be a lot of tools and tactics. So the people that have listened to the podcast already have shared with me. They're like, oh my God, Nikki, just tell us exactly what to do. So I'm really happy to be able to support you in that way, because one of the things that I noticed was there's a lot of generalization in the coaching industry. There's a lot of with the positive psychology space or the mindset space, there's a lot of just go and work on your mindset and you'll feel better. In the podcast, what I've done is I've really tried to drill down into do this thing and do this thing and do this thing. And I love a 5-step system. So I'm like, right, here's the 5 steps to do this, or here's the 5 steps to do that. So it's just, you can literally make notes, or you can remember. If only one of those steps is memorable or stands out for you, then that's always more than enough. And this is another tip for you guys as well. Whether you are standing on stage, whether you're going on a webinar, whether you're doing a live video on Instagram, whether you are coaching people on a coaching call, it becomes a little bit overwhelming. And I see so many coaches and entrepreneurs and people in general judging themselves and putting so much pressure on themselves to help everybody all of the time, or to worry about what everybody thinks all of the time. I invite you to consider the one person that you can make a difference to today through your communication, through kindness, through compassion, through the way that you show up, through the work you're doing on yourself, through the tools that you are implementing into your life. And when you remember just that one person, it's a lot easier to show up and to create positive change. It becomes a lot simpler and a lot less intimidating, where you're just thinking to yourself, okay, just help one person, just help one person. It's way easier to do. So the three things that I've learned so far. So in sharing this podcast, I've definitely been way more nervous than like standing on stage in front of thousands of people, which is crazy. And I'm trying to like really dig into why that is. And I think it's because when I'm like recording these podcasts, and for those of you that have got podcasts, you'll probably like know this and feel this too. It feels very personal. Like I feel like I'm just talking like direct to you, Rob, or direct to you, Chrissy. I'm like, right, I've got one person in my mind and I'm thinking about the message. I'm thinking about the question that you shared with me. And I'm thinking about how I can communicate what it is that you've asked me to like teach you in the most simple and easy to understand way. And I think because it is so personal, it's like becomes really impactful. And when I come back to my mission and my vision of being able to help millions of people through unstoppable success, through positive psychology, through entrepreneurship as this vehicle to create lasting positive change and more joy and personal power for you guys, it makes the podcast seem really important. So now that it feels really important and impactful and in the alignment with my vision and mission, it has made me feel more nervous. And I've been coaching myself and reminding myself to enjoy the process too. So I think my first learning is to trust the process. And this has really been a mantra that I have used over the lifetime of my journey in personal development and in business, because a lot of times we'll put our power outside of ourselves and we'll say, oh, like, what is the result that I want to get over here? So I want to have 1 million downloads on my podcast and I want to help 1 million people and I want 1 million episodes or whatever it is. And now I'm forward focused to years in the future and I'm not actually honoring where I'm at right now. And so I've really coached myself to trust the process, to be in the process, to be in the acknowledgement and really feel into what I'm feeling and what's going on, because so many times we can bypass the actual experience of our life experience by always just focusing on what the next thing is or by focusing on where it is we want to go. So there's a lot of grounding and there's a lot of depth and richness that we can experience in life when we decide to just get present in the moment and trust that everything is unfolding with perfection. So I could have spent yesterday, for example, worrying about, oh my goodness, is anyone going to listen? Like, what if it doesn't work? All of these things. And I would have wasted the day doing that. Instead, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful that I can share this. And I'm super happy that it's going to impact people. And I'm doing my amazing documentary filming and it's super sunny and grateful for all of the things. We actually did some filming for the documentary where I did a gratitude rampage, and the documentary like camera guy was like filming me writing down all of the gratitudes. So it's those like self-coaching moments where you can remind yourself to really ground in gratitude and drop into the moment and trust the process too, that can make your experience of your life and business way richer, because what is going to happen is going to happen. And now we've started to see some stats from the podcast coming through, and we've started to see things like number 8 in Ireland, which is amazing. So thank you, Ireland team. We've started to see number 6 in the UK and top 200 in America. So super grateful for all of you guys representing. We've also hit the charts in places like Spain and Sweden and Thailand, which is really, really cool. And we're like keeping an eye on that all of the time. So if I had spent the last like 24 hours worrying, I would have just not been able to be in this experience and enjoy it to the max, because all of you guys are going to look back on your life experiences and you're going to remember exactly what you were doing and exactly where you were and exactly where you what you felt. And I just want you to have these really positive memories. It's called stretching happiness in positive psychology. So it's the idea that you anticipate something exciting that's coming up, so the things that you've got to look forward to, then you're really present during it, so you're in the enjoyment and in the like graciousness and the gratitude of the experience, and then you're able to reflect on those moments afterwards as well. Second thing that I've learned is be willing to ask for help. So this experience of sharing the podcast with you guys, it's really, really special. And it's also involved me doing something that I don't usually do. Like, I'm used to creating content and just sharing stuff and putting it out there, and whoever wants to read it or watch it can do that, and always trusting that it's going to land for the right person. It's very different for me to be showing up and saying, like, I would love your help to get this out to more people and to share it. We're also doing this big prize giveaway, which I've never done before. So that's really exciting as well. We're doing really different things. So we're like, we'd love your help in sharing the prize giveaway so that we can help more people through the podcast. So that's been a real learning for me, that people do really want to help. Like, everyone's been like, oh my goodness, like, Nick, everyone wants to celebrate this. We've been waiting for it for so long. Like, thank you so much for asking. Of course, I'll go and share it. Of course, I'll go and leave a review. So that's felt really, really good. And I feel very grateful to be supported by like an amazing team. We've got an amazing team behind the scenes. We've got 28 people that work with me now in Unstoppable, which feels really crazy to be this girl from Newcastle who sat at home in her apartment where it was freezing cold and was like hustling on a laptop for so long trying to make it work, to now be able to like create jobs for so many people and to work with so many experts and to have such amazing support in the business just feels really, really special. And I think my third thing that I've learned is actually remembering that. So first thing is to trust the process and be in the gratitude for the process. Second thing is to be able to ask for help. And then the third thing is actually that we're always doing all of this together. And I feel the same energy as I felt when I was writing my book, because so many of you guys came on the journey of Now Is Your Chance, which you can see like on the bookcase in the background there. That little book was born in 2017. And I felt like I like took everyone around the world on the tour with me. And so many of you were instrumental in sharing your stories for the book, or you're in the podcast because you've shared a story with me about when something has happened or you've created a transformation. So it's as much about me and what I teach as you guys actually taking the teachings and doing the work and implementing them into your life. And I really, really feel like this is a team effort. It feels like everyone's like come together all around the world, and it just feels really, really cool. And I'm in so much gratitude for having you guys as an amazing, amazing team, and we're doing this together. It makes it so much more fun. It's so cool. So, so cool. So I appreciate you. I love you guys. I want you to all make sure that you enter the giveaway, because we have got these epic prizes and you're all going to get a free gift as well. And then if there's anything you want to ask me, I'm going to be bringing some guests in over the next few days. So we're going to be having some cool chats around unstoppable success and what that really means. But I'm here right now. And as you guys know, I'm always willing to answer your questions. So if I love you too, Leash. I'm always willing to answer your questions. If there's anything that you want to know about the podcasting process, if there's anything that you have got on your heart that you want to know about creating unstoppable success, maybe it's something you're going through in your personal development journey, maybe it's a lifestyle question or a question about rituals, whatever it is, let me know and I can totally support you with that. Totally happy to answer any questions that you've got as well. And then over the next few days, I'm going to be coming back. I'll share the updates as well on what's going on with the podcast. It's kind of updating like every few hours or every day. It's like doing its own thing, and we're just keeping some eyes on it and seeing what's going on with that. But we will keep you updated with anything that happens, any exciting developments. And then we'll be announcing the prize draw next Monday, which I believe is the 19th. So we just want this to like gain so much momentum and be able to get out there to so many people. It feels like it's a really great opportunity to have so many people just get this really simple tool into their lives so they can start to feel better. I feel like this is really like, because the world's opening up again and people are just getting re-energized and kind of thinking like, what can I do now after being in the house for so long? What can I do now? Things are starting to go back to normal, whatever that means. And these are really simple, practical tools that you can start to put into action in your life and in your business to create that shift. And it can be really symbolic of this time of springtime, of like 2021, of the world opening up, and of you committing to create unstoppable success within yourselves and your business. So I'd love to know what takeaways you are hearing and you're receiving from the podcast. So make sure you're DMing me and you're letting me know what your favorite parts are. Maybe it's a little story that was funny, or maybe it's a tool or a teaching or a strategy that you're like, oh my goodness, now I know that thing, I can take it and I can implement and I can do it. Or maybe it's just a feeling. Feelings are always the most important thing. So maybe it's just a vibe and it's making you feel more motivated or energized or empowered. Let me know. So I would love for you to go and review the podcast. Loads of you have been asking me actually about Android. So Apple is the only place that you can review the podcast right now. And we also have it on Google Play and Spotify, but you can't review it on those platforms. So if you are on Android, you could always go on like Apple on your desktop and review it on there, but you can listen on Google Play and on Spotify as well. And all of the playthroughs count as well. So they're all like supportive in you guys getting the full message. And then also, I believe it helps in the charts as well with how many minutes have been played. So I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'm going to be sharing more updates with you. I'm going to be answering any questions, bringing on some special guests as well. And I'll be back on Monday as well. So I will let you know how it goes. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let me know what it is you need, any questions that you've got. I'm totally here for you. And I'm ready to kick ass with this podcast. Super excited to see what happens over the next few days. I hope you're having an amazing Saturday, guys. Love you so much. And again, thank you for all of your support.